So today we had CPI this morning at 8:30. Now we have at 9:45 also we have a high impact news. So this was the reaction at CPI. Okay, short up higher and dollar index made a good down move because dollar and indexes are inversely correlated to each other. But now I am looking for 9:30 opening. We still have 20 minutes left, and this is the formation of 4-hour candle. So I would like to see how this will expand over time in both the directions. So now let me just mark the pre-market session, which is from 7 to 9:30. Right there. So this is the pre-market session. This is the sell side liquidity resting just below here. That is the sell side liquidity, and right here is the market buy side. So that is the buy side. Now I'm waiting for 9:30 opening. Price is currently taking support from this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and the upper quadrant of these buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which formed at 8:30. Okay, so now currently this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency is acting as the inversion, and it is currently supporting the prices higher from its midpoint of this gap. So let me just mark it and show it to you. I'm talking about this gap right here. This gap is acting as the inversion, okay, and it is taking support from this midpoint of this gap. Currently, as of now, it broke it on the upside, came down, took the support, and now moving higher. So according to model, my simplistic approach is the very first gap before the stop run. The people, those who have bought long, they had their stop losses below here. Market came down, take those people out, those who were long right here, those who were chasing this movement up. Okay, so this was the stop run, happened right below this low, and then the very first gap before the stop run, which is in the form of a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, it should break completely on the upside. Price should not respect this inefficiency in its original form, which is sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It broke it on the upside and took the support from the midpoint of this gap. Look at the bodies, how bodies of the candle is staying above the midpoint of this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. I told you this when price was trading, sorry, the price was when price was trading inside, right inside here. For me, the best scenario would be it should bump a little more higher, take out some sort of buy side, and at 9:30, okay, it should bump a little higher, take out some 9 buy side, and then start to roll over, taking out this sell side, and then eventually this. But let's see how's how it is going to perform at 9:30. Now if it wants to, okay, now if it really wants to move higher, then it should support this gap, okay. Otherwise this is the accumulation, okay, this is the accumulation of shorts by the smart money. That is something which I'm looking for. From now till 9:30 they will accumulate shorts, then they will manipulate retailers chasing prices higher, okay. This is something I am anticipating, okay. Look at that, bodies of the candle respecting the high of this inversion fair value gap. This is the buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency formed at CPI at 8:30. So I have marked it, graded all the quadrants, upper quadrant, midpoint, lower quadrant. Midpoints means consequent encroachment of this gap, okay. So let's see what we can get today. The high here on S&P at 846 is 783.7. So it did not take those highs yet. Yes, okay, US 30 is moving lower. Looks like in US 30 they will try to just bump up and then start to roll over, taking out these sell stops resting below this. Let's see. And still the bodies of the candle is respecting the high of this inverted fair value gap. Look at that. This is algorithmic in nature, guys. The bodies of the candle respecting this gap. But let me teach you something really interesting today. Okay, which is when to look for this gap, when this gap will act as the inversion and send the prices higher. This gap should form inside a macro. Okay, this is 850 and this is the 910. So this gap formed inside this 20-minute interval of time between 850 to 910. Okay, 10 minutes before 9 and 10 minutes after 9. It formed inside this macro time. Okay, not any gap will be gonna act as inversion. There has to be first the context of time. Okay, there has to be first the context of time. So as I told you, looks like smart money is offering sell side and prices are moving higher. But let's see what price do at 9:30. Look at that, it is moving higher, which is good for us. The best scenario will be this dollar index should start like grinding higher on the upside, taking out these relative equal highs, and the indexes like Nasdaq and US 30 and S&P should start to roll down, taking out this sell side. But still we have a high impact news at 9:45, so we have to also consider that. I'm just trying to grade this 15-minute wick. Okay, this is the midpoint of that 15-minute wick. Price is staying below it, and also the high of this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Now it is really important for me to see how price reacts inside this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Whether it's going to support it or going to disregard it and then take it as inversion and starts to roll over to the downside. This is the lower quadrant of that wick. Wait 3 more minutes to go for 9:30 opening. Looks like it's going to dump at 9:30 because they are not respecting this, and this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency is showing good strength, and this got failed. Still bodies of the candle is closing above the midpoint of that inversion, but I don't think now it's going to have that impact. But let's see, because price completely broke this. Look at that, it is getting lower. Dollar is moving lower. And today we will have a large opening range gap. Let's see. Okay, 9:30 candle, bumped it till here. Okay, it's going to move lower now. Looks like it. Yes. Look at that. This sell side has been taken out. This is the midpoint of that buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Look at that. All of them doing the same things, moving lower, and dollar is still holding that price. So as expected, I told you smart money was accumulating shorts right there and retail was chasing longs. So they accumulated short and then distributed it lower here. Now this is the first presented fair value gap for today. Let's see how it's going to react off of this. I'm just deleting this for now. This is the first presentation of gap, and I am choosing the 9:30 candle for the first presented fair value gap because we had a high impact news at 8:30 today. So that is the reason for me choosing this specific gap to act as the first presentation gap. Now I think they are going to move higher. Yes, look at that. But I didn't put that fill which I was looking for. Just taking a small risk right here. Now I want this gap, the midpoint of this gap, to support the prices higher. Look at that. Because this gap is acting as the inversion now. Now I don't want price come back down also to touch it. It should just break this high right here. Look at that. Now 1:1 is done. I'm completely reducing, removing the risk from the trade. Okay. Look at that. As I told, they would not like to come back and tap it. Now currently we are up 20 points. So I'm looking to take some partials. But today trading view is lacking, guys. I don't know why, but I'd like to take few partials right there. I've taken that, and risk is completely removed from the trade. I'm looking for this buy side to be attacked, but I don't like candles closing below this 50%. Okay, I'm just zooming for you guys. This is the midpoint of that 15-minute wick. I want bodies to close above it. Yes, that is what I was expecting it to do. And now it should take the support from this high and shoot up higher, take out this buy side liquidity right there. Let's see. Look at that. As I told, it should touch the high of it and bump it higher, taking out these sell sides. So currently we are 40 points up from our entry, and I'm trying to take few partials above that buy side pool of liquidity. Now I'm looking for it to close the trade because it can continue to move lower, but let me just reduce more positions above that buy side pool of liquidity, just above that. Now I am increasing my profit objective. If it wants to continue higher, then it should not break this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and it should respect the midpoint of this gap. And it should never come down to tap into this if it wants to continue moving higher. But if it wants to reverse, then it should completely break this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency on the downside. So let's look out for that. And S&P has not taken out still this, so that is some kind of SMT. Now this is pretty crucial, guys, how this gap is going to react. What I meant by that is how this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which is this C, okay, currently bodies of the candle is staying outside it, but it can also, okay, what it can do, it can also break that buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and come down to explore some sell side. So that will be interesting to see how it's going to play out. But our target objective was this high, which was completely done. So now that the 50% of this gap has been compromised, but still, let's see. Now I think they are going to manipulate it on the downside and take out this sell side specifically. But let's see. I'm currently in longs. Here is my stop out. If it wants to move lower, it's going to stop me out right there. But it looks like this gap, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, if it doesn't hold it within next 2-3 candles, then yeah, just look at that. This is what I was expecting. Now they are going to take out this sell side right here. It looks like it. Let's see. Because S&P couldn't find strength to break out above this high above right there. So it is interesting to see. The bodies of the candle is closing inside this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. We, but we got some good handles move right there, which was in a very smooth way. And yes, guys, we have a high impact news at 9:45. So don't forget that we have a high impact news at 9:45. and I don't care about the numbers, but how they are going to manipulate it. So it's better to wait it out now. Okay, so look at that, body of the candle did not close outside this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which means prices are algorithmically still trying to hold this gap. But currently, till that 9:45, I would like to wait it out and let's see how they are going to do the rest of this stuff. I am looking for yesterday's 4:14 p.m. settlement price, so that I want to check how much was the gap opening this 4:15, 4:14, which is 113.2, 25,113.2, and we opened up at 9:30. 9:30 is 307, so almost 100 200 points up. Let me just mark out the 9:30 opening price. So today we have a large opening range gap, and whenever we have this kind of gap, it tends to continue higher on the upside, or whichever side we have such high gaps, it's likely to continue higher. But now it's getting into chopping up. Here it was moving smooth, but right now it is just chopping around, and this is what time distortion looks like. Okay, look at that, they bumped it higher at 9:45, but they could not take out that high, and in US 32 could not, but in US 30 they took out this high right there. Okay, dollar also bumped higher. So dollar, as we expected at around 9:30, that it should slowly and steadily start to move higher, but the way I was anticipating it to move lower, that did not happen, and yet played out the way I was looking for it to. Now we have 9:50 to 10:10 macro. That will be very interesting to see how they are going to play that out. So this is 9:50. We still have 6 minutes, 4 minutes to go for this macro to start. looks like it, they are going to take out this sell side liquidity. It looks like they are going to start the 950 to 1010 macro to start spooling the prices lower and take out that sell side liquidity. So now this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency is going to act as the inversion. That's what I'm looking at. Should break this on the downside. I don't want it to take this high right here. See guys, looks like it. Looking for this, that as the inversion. There, but should give up this. Let's see, but oh guys, looks like it's going to go higher. I have exited the trade, but because the price is respecting this first presented fair value gap, and these are the relative equal highs. Look at that gap. It's Friday and I'm not in a mood to push more because it is just getting into a high resistance, it looks like. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm not interested in pushing more. I should have not taken that short trade. So now this did not act as so that would be it from my side, and no more pushing of buttons. And to be humble enough to say that today was not a day to push more or to sell that. That was not my model, but I impulsively chased it. So that is the problem, guys. That is the problem. Because when you start to think of you have to make money, then it's become very difficult. But it's fine, nothing to worry about. Because of this big move, the AM session would be very choppy now. So now I would like to wait it out, and if I will get some clear and clean opportunity around like 11:30 or 1:30, I will look for that. Otherwise, that's it from my side for today. Because that it's Friday and it's too late in the week. But let's see. Keep in mind this sell side liquidity and this sell side liquidity, which is 25,282 and 25,209. Okay, now this gap is acting as the inversion. Yes, now it is moving in a smooth way. But I would like to see that this gap, yes, this is what I was expecting it to do. Now it should really start to move lower. My SL will be right here. or I would say right here. I don't even want it to touch this. Should roll it over to the downside and take out this, and this is not something I would like to see it do. I should stay below this. No point in shorting today. It's better to just wait it out. Okay, still it's a good day. I need some. This is subsequent loss. I need some points here. So it's all in all a not that good day. But it's going to take this out, man. Completely, they are going to butcher these sellers, and it's in a mood to spool higher and take out the buy side. Okay, so no point in pushing more, and just I really got enticed by that candle. I really would not wanted it to even move up to touch this. It should just, but that did not happen. Okay, so algorithm is continuously taking the support from the down close candle, and it is marching higher. So as expected, it's doing what it's for it to do, and it got me tricked into thinking that it's going to move lower, but now I realize that down close candles are supporting the prices higher. But it's fine, no more push 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 now. Like really, it's time to close. And last two time I said the same things, but I pushed it. That is not good. These relative equal highs plus high probability, they are going to attack it. When I was so sure this was going to attack, then why did you took that sell trades? That is something you need to answer, because you started to chase price and got little emotional about it, but the way that this time did distortion take place, that was not good. this gap is now taking the support. This is acting at the inversion, not that. Okay, it's going to that how bodies of the two candles are staying above the midpoint of that inversion fair value gap. But it's time and it's done and dusted. So